Anani. Long time no speak. It has been a very long time since I have posted a video of myself or regarding myself on this channel. It is new and improved. I don't know if you guys have seen the new banner or the new watermark in the corner of the screen, or even my new profile picture. But yes, guys, I am back. I am back to posting. I am back on this channel. Why, you may ask? Because I have a lot of new things coming up. I'm on kind of this new phase in life, this new journey, and it consists of a lot of interesting things that I think I want to document and bring to this channel. So for starters, I know you guys clicked on this video. I'm sure you see the title, and yes, I am moving to Jamaica. Yay! Woo! Yes, I am moving to Jamaica. I am almost finished with the closing of my house. And yes, I'm very excited about it. I have lived in America my whole life. But I recently visited Jamaica. Well, not recently. It was like February of 2023. I went there, I visited, I stayed for like a month, and when I tell you, I absolutely fell in love with Jamaica. Like, I loved it. I loved the culture. I loved, the island life. It's a more calm, more slowed down way of life. And I also too, like, if you know me, like, that the beach is like my favorite place in the world. So I visited, I fell in love with it, I came back home, and immediately I was like, how do I get here? How do I live here forever? So yes, I am moving to Jamaica, and hopefully I will be able to move, fingers crossed, this is tentative, hopefully I will be able to move December of this year or February of 2025. So with that comes a lot of things, packing and getting everything together, and trying to find furniture and just a whole bunch of stuff that comes with it. So yes, as far as why, some of the reasons why I chose to move to Jamaica. So of course, like I mentioned previously, I do love island life. When I visited, I don't know, I felt like this sense of calm. I felt like this sense of community. I felt this sense of peace. I have anxiety, not as bad as, maybe somebody with an anxiety disorder, but I do still have anxiety. And I don't know, like the atmosphere, the vibe, the energy of Jamaica, it just like, I don't know, like, I guess the best way I can describe it is it meshed with my body chemistry. It meshed with my nervous system. I felt calm. I felt at peace. Even though I had never been in life, even though I didn't know anybody there, I felt like I was amongst family. Like, I felt like I was amongst, like, my aunties or uncles or, things like that. So I felt very calm. And I think that is something that definitely resonated with me. I think also too, what kind of played a part in it is the fact that when I traveled to Jamaica, that was the first time I was able to use my passport. I had never been out of the country. I had never, visited anywhere like that wasn't a U.S. state or territory. I had been, to like different states, like, Louisiana and New York and all that kind of thing, but I had never like utilized my passport. So that was the first time that I was a big girl, and I stepped out like as a young woman, and I was like, I'm going to do this. And I was nervous, I was nervous because I had never traveled out of the country before. So, you don't know what to expect. You don't know all the things that come with it. Like, you don't know, like you just don't know. So, it was my first time, exercising, adulthood, in that way. So I think that also is why it has kind of like a special place in my heart, because when I did that, when I stepped out and when I was, trying to, step out in my young adulthood, Jamaica opened me with open arms, you know what I'm saying, and made me feel safe and, you know, things like that. So I definitely think that also too played a part. As well as, like I previously mentioned, to the environment. I love being around the water. I'm from Houston, and I'm gonna say this, and people that are from Houston are gonna be like, what? But I love the beach. I love Galveston Island. I think it comes with just the fact that, like I say, I love being around water, being around sand, you know, being around the ocean breeze. These kinds of things calm me. And so, like I say, even living here, you know, the beach of Galveston was and is one of my favorite places in the world. So I say all that to say how it translates to Jamaica. You know, Jamaica is an island, obviously. And so I think of it as like one big beach, you know, so it's like the island breeze or the ocean breeze is just always there. You know, the water is like blue, like crystal, you know, as compared to like a Galveston, which, if you know, our water is, you know, we're on the Gulf, so it's a little, you know, it's not, it's no like, you know, crystal clear blue waters. But yes, when I went to Jamaica, I was like, the water is beautiful, the sand is powdery, and, you know, and even, like I say, just the culture, like, you know, there's little eateries, you know, on the beach, there's people selling their wares and things like that, and I found it so beautiful and so endearing, and I loved it, you know, I really did love it. I think another thing too is that I love the fact that I am surrounded by my people. And so I grew up in America, grew up in Spring, Texas, which we all consider Houston. You know, if you're from here, you know. Anything 45 minutes out of Houston, we still are Houston, you know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, I grew up in Spring, Texas. I've lived in Texas and Houston my whole life. And so with that, you know, it can come a lot of things. You know, sometimes, you know, you can be a victim of racism. You know, you can be a victim of discrimination and all of those kinds of things. So I think, and I don't even know maybe if like, you know, like people who are from, you know, predominantly black countries, I don't even know if they can appreciate this, but it is something, and it is, I even feel, a blessing to be able to grow up around your people and not have to worry about being, you know, monitored or, you know, discriminated against, like in that way. When I went to Jamaica, I always use this example, right, about how I love the fact that, you know, any corner you go to, right, you often hear people, you know, blasting their music, having a good time, and nobody really blinks an eye, you know, nobody really, you know, thinks twice about it, because, you know, we are a rhythmic people, you know, like we express ourselves, we're very expressive, and we're open, and we can be loud and boisterous and all these kinds of thing. And so in Jamaica, you know, like expressing, you know, how you're feeling, your blackness and things like that, nobody thinks twice. But in America, like a lot of times, like we police ourselves, like, oh, you know, don't be too loud, the white people, or, you know, conduct yourself a certain way, you know, because, you know, the white people, or just anybody, you know, they're going to be looking at us a certain way, or turn your music down, you know, don't be ghetto, or, you know, all these kinds of things. So it does go to say, like, there is a freedom, yeah, I think that's the word I want to use, there's a freedom in being able to be surrounded by your people. And I don't know if people that come from predominantly black countries or predominantly black islands appreciate that, you know, in the way that I do, you know what I'm saying, from having to grow up around, you know, an environment where you sometimes feel policed, you know, you sometimes feel like your blackness is a bit policed. So yes, I definitely think that also definitely plays a role. and I think it kind of encompasses also to why I do want to move there. It's a certain freedom, you know, it's a certain peace that I just don't experience here in America. As far as just like also too, like on a personal note, you know, I also too, I appreciate the spirituality even kind of surrounding Jamaica. You know, you have people who are very deep, you know, and people who understand certain concepts that I'm in line with. So I definitely think that also plays a part. You know, even one of my all-time favorite, I don't know if I want to call him a revolutionary. I don't even know. I feel like this individual was so far ahead of his time. Like, I don't even know how to properly classify it, but anybody who knows me knows I absolutely love Marcus Garvey. Like, love Marcus Garvey, love what he stood for. You know, I love what he was trying to accomplish. Somebody that I definitely look up to, you know, as well as, of course, people know that I also too love Thomas Sankara, but, and Patrice Lumumba and all these kinds of people. But in context to Jamaica, you know, I love Marcus Garvey. When I went, I visited his home, his childhood home. I visited his museum, had a wonderful, wonderful experience. The museum little part of his like exhibition was like closed, but the lovely people like that were at the library, like they knew that I was kind of traveling and that I was really wanting to see this, so they let me in. I was able to take pictures and everything, and I was literally like tearful, crying, because I look up to Marcus Garvey a lot, you know, and what he did and everything with the Black Star Line and the unification of his people and just the passion, the fight, the fire. Like, I don't know, I feel like it's such a lost art. I feel like revolution, in the way that, like I say, like a Thomas Sankara or Marcus Garvey or Patrice Lumumba, you know, did it. I feel like it's such a lost art form. I feel like they brought so much passion, so much fire that I think we just don't understand anymore, or don't know how to bring about anymore, you know. So, but yes, even stuff like that, like I say, like, you know, just it being a place like that births, you know, these kinds of ideals, you know, this kind of spirituality. You know, when I was there, you know, you would see Rastafarians, you know, just unapologetically themselves, you know, wrapped hair and, you know, just really feeling it. Like, you could just tell like they were just one with, you know, themselves and nature and all that kind of a thing. And like I say, even, you know, little things like this. Another reason why I'm moving to Jamaica. I don't even know how to classify it, or if this is the right word I want to use. But they have this even kind of a hustler's spirit. Like I say, I don't know if that's the verb or the word I want to use, but almost this like entrepreneurial, I'll say, spirit. So it's like everybody there, you know, like they have something that they do. Even if you see somebody just sitting on the street, they're sitting on the street selling coconut, or they're sitting on the street selling, you know, bananas or mangoes, or their trinkets, or, you know, like stuff like that. And I think that is so beautiful. I love the entrepreneurial spirit. It is something that I have within me. It is something that I think is in my blood. My mom is a hustler, you know, her family, my grandfather is entrepreneur, you know, like his father, you know, so it's just kind of something that's like, I feel in my blood. I am a firm believer in doing what you can to get to a position where you can work for yourself, be your own boss, make your own money. You know what I'm saying? So I love the fact that it doesn't matter what they're doing, even if it's something small, like I'm selling, you know, apples. You know what I'm saying? Like they're doing it. Like it's their business, you know, and they're going for it. One of my favorite times also too when I was there, I went to the fish market. Do not quote me on it. I can't believe I forgot, but I believe it was in St. Elizabeth. Do not quote me on that. But basically it was like, it's like a fish market, like town, like they're known for their fish market. And I went, and when I tell you, it was one of my favorite experiences. The smell was bananas, as I'm sure you could imagine, because it was a fish market. But when I tell you, it was a beautiful experience. You saw people with all kinds of fish. You saw the fishermen bring in the fish, you know, from the ocean, and just the men, you know, getting it together. And I mean, it was one of the most memorable experiences. And there was even this one point in it where, you know, when the fishermen, they brought their fish to the I don't know if you want to call it a bay or whatever, but they brought it to the bay, and the birds are ready. You know, the birds are ready because it's like they know that they do this every day. And when I tell you, a swarm, like, just surrounded, like something out of a movie. I have never been that close to that many birds before. I have never experienced anything like that in life. It is like ingrained in my memory. And like I say, it's just beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful to me. Like, that people were doing that, like that they were, you know, in business for themselves and making a living. And like I say, you go and you walk around and you see people cooking fish and selling drinks and just all this kinds of a thing. And I think, like I said, I even think that's a lost art. Like, it is beautiful. And like I say, you don't see that in that way here in America. Like, I don't know, I loved the organic way of life. I love how real, you know, how real, how raw, like it was, you know. And so, yes, I absolutely fell in love with Jamaica. When I went to St. Anne. I stayed actually in Clarendon, and I stayed in Claremont. I stayed in Claremont in St. Anne. And at an Airbnb, when I tell you, had the time of my absolute life, fell in love with it. When I decided I was going to buy a house, I came back. I went to Kingston because I had to get like some things that I needed. And like I said, I will even go and do a video that is in depth on exactly how to buy a house in Jamaica, the whole process from start to finish with everything, you know what I'm saying? So, because I've been through the experience, I know exactly how to do it. I know what you're going to want to avoid and things of that nature. But yes, when I was, you know, starting my house hunting journey in January of this year, I actually went to Kingston, and then I also went to even St. Catherine. And so, of course, like I say, when, you know, I do the video, we'll talk about it, because I know that sometimes, you know, you do hear on the news or on the media that Jamaica's dangerous and stay out and their crime is ridiculous and all these kinds of things. Let me tell you, I have been there several times. I have been to places that, you know, or parishes that people would say are bad, you know, quote unquote bad. And of course, you exercise discretion. You exercise discretion here, you know, in America. But like I said, we'll talk about it, you know, the do's and don'ts and things like that. Because like I say, I do feel that the media definitely inflates, you know, some things. Because like I said, I've been to Jamaica, you know, from the southern part of the island to, you know, the western part to the whole thing, you know what I'm saying? And I'm here, you know, I'm safe, you know what I'm saying? And even my house that I actually purchased is in the southern part of the island. So yeah, like I said, we'll talk about that more in depth when I, you know, do that video and things of that nature. But yes, it boils down to, in a nutshell, why am I moving from Jamaica as opposed to America? Because I feel free there. I feel free. I feel at peace. I feel calm. I feel like I'm amongst family. And that is a level of comfort that I do not feel here in America. And I think that as I'm getting older, I am 24, I'll be 25 in October. And I feel like as I'm getting older, I want a life that I'm comfortable in. I want a life that I feel fulfilled in, you know what I'm saying? I want a life that, like I say, boils down to a life that allows me to be free and allows me to be myself in my entirety. I can't do that here, you know, in America. You know what I'm saying? But I feel the connection, you know, I feel that thing that I was missing here. I feel that in Jamaica. And like I say, I have so many plans, you know, so many things that I want to do. We'll talk about that in other videos on this channel. But yes, I wanted to start this journey. I wanted to start the documentation of this journey because I feel like it is going to be, or not feel like, I know it is going to be a beautiful one, and I would love to take you guys along for the ride, along for this amazing journey. So yes, do stay tuned. I have a lot of content coming up. I will try to be super consistent in my upload schedule, but like I say, depending on, you know, what I have to film, whether it's like the process of buying a house or just other things, the editing and things like that may take a bit, you know, to make sure everything is concise, cohesive, things of that nature. But I am going to try to be very consistent. I do appreciate those of you that have stayed with this channel. I know, like I said, I haven't posted in a very long time, but I am back. And I do welcome anyone else that has found this channel. I do hope you stay. Please subscribe. I would love to have you here. I would love to have you along on this journey. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Please stay tuned, and I'll see you later. Bye.